So this video that I'm making is an example of how to use WootMath. For instance, they say convert 3/5 to a decimal. What you can easily do is use this workpad right here. Use every resource that you have. So right here, I could drag the workpad. Right here, I can write a text to show my work. Right here, I can actually draw out the work I want to do. Right here, I can use the calculator. Right here, I can use a functional calculator to help me do the work. So this is where I can use decimals and everything. For instance, for this problem, I know that 1/5 is equal to 0.2. And then under it, I could do, since I got 3/5, I could do 1 divided by 5, press the forward key, times 3 is equal to 0.2 times 3. Go down again, then I get 3 divided by 5 is equal to 0.6. Or I could have did it even faster by doing 3, oops, I'll press enter, or I could have been even faster and did 3 divided by 5. Oops, that didn't work out so well. But I could have did it faster by going to this calculator mode and do 3 divided by 5 is equal to 6. All right, 0.6. And let me move this out the way. It's very important that when you do WootMath that you show the work on the work pad so we can see what you're doing and help you out. You have to show the work on the work pad. Next, I do 14.5% as a decimal. So what I'll do is get 14.5% means divided by 100. So I'm going to select this answer. Now I got 0.9. I'll put 0.9 divided by 100. I got 2 zeros in front of it, just like this one. That's it. I got 192%. Put 192 without the percent and divided by 100. 1.92. And look, I'm already on question number 5. Question number 5. So I'm going to put 1.3 divided by 2. Now I have to change it from a decimal to a percent. Remember, I divide by percent whenever I divide by 100, whenever I'm going from percent to number. So I'm going to do the opposite, which is multiply. So I got 1.5 times 100. All right, 150%. Now I can do this in 2 ways. I'm going to make a proportion by hitting this function. But before I get too happy, you got the table, you got the fractions, and then 2, let's say if you want to show your work on paper, you can upload it. But I'm not going to do all that. I could do this problem in 2 ways, and I'm going to show you both of them. All right, so what I'm going to do is change the percent to 98 divided by 100. Forward, put equals. Then I'm going to do another fraction and put 343 and put x. Press enter. Then what I'm going to do is put x is equal to my two numbers that are diagonal are 343 times 100. And the odd man out is 98 because it's not diagonal but another number. So what I'm going to do is go to the calculator and put 343 times 100 divided by 98. And let's see what I get. I get 350. And the second way to do it is the following. I can do this. I can turn 0.98 into a decimal. I could do 0.98 and I'll put x is equal to 343. Then I do the division property of equality where I divide 0.98 on both sides to get x is equal to 343 over 0.98. Then I'll go to the calculator and then I get that my answer will be 343 divided by point zero point oops 0.98 and I get 350 either way. Number 7. What is 55? What percent of 55 is 22? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put 22 because that is the is and my total is going to be 55, which should be 0.4. And I have to put 0.4. Let's put zero point 0.4 and see what happens, which is good. And I'm going to go back and put 0.4. And be cognizant, WootMath is tricky because you got to have the correct units. But luckily with this problem, it's nicer. Now, 120% of what number? So first of all, we're going to turn 120% into a decimal by divided by 100. That's 1.2. So I'm going to have 1.2 times 94. Some of you guys will try to put 112.8. That's not good because it said round to the nearest whole. The nearest whole is 113. But let's see what happens if you put 112.8. You see, you got to follow directions. And that's what I love about WootMath is WootMath forces you to follow directions. Now, with this is the reason why I chose this part is because of the fact that you got to have your units. So, I got 50. Let's do it like this. I start off with 50 centimeters. And then I want to increase it. So I'm going to use the tax formula. And I'm going to increase it by 20%. So that's my equation that I can put in the calculator. All right. I want to increase it by 20%. I could do an extra step and do 50 times 1.2. Let's go to the calculator. 50 1.2, and let's see what we get. I got 60. And you see how you show the work for every problem? So I'm going to put 60, and let's see what happens. Wow, this is a very nice WootMath, because I will warn you, when it comes to WootMath, sometimes if you don't put the units, it will say that you're wrong, okay? Always put the units to be safe. Now with this, they say an apple increase to a new weight. So I'm gonna go to my function. So we don't know the original weight of the apple, so we're going to call it X. And then we told it was increased. We got one apple that increased by 30%. And then we said that it was equal to 250. So what I'm gonna do is put X 1.3 equals 250. Then I'm gonna switch it around to make it easier to see. And what's going to happen is I'm going to get enter X is equal to 250 over 1.3, which is the division property of equality. So let's kick it over to the calculator. So the nearest gram will be 192 grams. And I did it on the earlier part of this video. I got it wrong. So WootMath does tend to quote unquote trip. So besides writing out the word grams, I just decided to do G's. And let's see what happens. Now they say I got it. So no, if this happened to you, we will not take away points. What's most important is that you show your work on the scratch pad. If you show your work and you put your units and they say that you got it wrong, then we will vouch for you. If you don't put your units and they say you got it wrong, then we cannot vouch for you. So it's best to put G because that's the way they had it in the problem. But then too, I also did practice it, and I saw that it also works if I just put 192 as well. So I will say this: please stray away from putting the number. Put the number in the unit because if you just put the number by itself and they say you got it wrong, we will support the fact that you got it wrong. Get used to writing your unit.